FMLGOD 51 Spade. I'm back in this thing once again. Now, we got a topic that we're going to address. Now, this is old head versus new head. Now, I'm going to try to stay objectively neutral in this situation, if we can call it that. So, this is how this thing started. So, y'all check this out.
Killer Mike, thank you.
Who the decided this mother? Utopia!
Utopia. That's what you wanted to win over Killer Mike? Feed!
Me and Kai are 10 times more richer than you and you will ever be. Old man, you're obviously a very salty old man.
Y'all little streaming don't always run. We don't care about none of that little streamy mosh pit.
Let me know what the f you're trying to do, Joe Budden. Respectfully, I'm gonna shit on you, bro.
Shut up for a change.
I'm not gonna let this broke, hating ass talk shit about me and my brothers.
He won and ain't sit down with a single streamer.
And the Grammy goes to.
Now, as y'all can see, this happened over the Grammy winning Killer Mike, and which I'm actually glad that Killer Mike won. And apparently, Cenat and Aiden Ross had issues with Joe Budden because Joe Budden was simply making the statement that is a old head, and he's not really saying he's an old head, just as a well-respected person that's into the music industry and things of that nature, that talent a lot of times in the seasoned veteranship of a artist typically wins over just what you think is popular. A lot of streamers are saying that they thought that Travis Scott should have won with Utopia, and there's always going to be this debate over music. Now, I do want to say that music to me is opinionated, but there is politics that go in music. Sometimes it's not really necessarily about your talent. Sometimes it can be about popularity, and the needle can be pushed. And I believe that's one of the things that Joe Budden was actually trying to bring up. Now, what I want to do is actually bring up the simple fact that I think now that the younger generation, and we have a new thing that comes along with the new generation where streaming is coming popular. They have a whole new genre of things that are coming up. I believe that they think that a lot of times when they hear older generation talking about them, they're just taking it as disrespect. You're not the first person to go through this. You won't be the last person to go through this. My generation went through this. The generation before me went through this. Like, when there's a younger generation, like, keep in mind, like, when I was coming up, they used to say that rap was a fad. They thought that rap was a fad. I remember my dad saying, man, that music isn't going anywhere. And now we 50 years later with 50 years of hip hop and award-winning like nominations going down. So obviously it wasn't fad, but I remember my dad saying that's a bunch of noise. It's a bunch of BS. It's a bunch of anything coming up in the era of NWA and Two Live Crew, this and that. They were looked at because they were the young heads. Even Snoop Dogg. And Snoop Dogg has even found the way to, when he was young and now it's the old head being looked at as unk, he's as well respected because he embraces it. But you don't have to. The thing about this culture, especially the black culture, is I feel like sometimes this is the only genre that does that. They don't do that in pop. They don't do that in R&B. They don't do that in rock and roll. Above anything, they're well respected. So in a lot of instances, these things go down. This is also what Joe Budden had to say.
We can look that up later.
Yeah.
But yeah, score one for the adults.
That too.
Score one for the adults and all you people out there that keep telling me that kids run everything and you have to market to the kids and these niggas doing these fucking mosh pits on the highway and all this other stupid shit. That's the story all year.
For sure.
Is
the thing about the Grammys,
TikTok and the kids and the children and the pop song and the radio song. That's what we talk about all year long. You niggas sit here and tell me, no, they have to do that. They have to do that. Maybe.
It just gets a bigger impact when you do it, but you don't have to.
No. Yeah, no, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
But there are trained music geniuses somewhere listening to this.
and that's how.
And again, like with music, I feel like I'm not mad at the younger generation for liking who they want or expressing who they like. If they felt like Travis Scott deserve to win. I get that. The issue I was having with Cenat was him saying that I didn't do any homework based on Killer Mike. I really didn't know who Killer Mike is. That's when I'm gonna have a problem with it, because you have a voice and your voice is being heard and generated over the airwaves, over videos and stuff like that. And to make that type of statement, you're not really doing your homework. And I notice with a lot of the younger generation, that's really the issue. I don't really think it's an issue of old head versus new head. It's more of it, like knowing where you come from and learning the background of it, not just speed tracking, fast pace and everything like that. Like, if you're in the music industry, you have to know some of these things. Ray Daniels, I was actually reading this tweet, and this is something that I actually didn't know. I want y'all to take a look at this. This year at the Grammys, Best Rap Album, 48-year-old rapper. Best New Artist, 34-year-old singer. Songwriter of the Year, a 41-year-old. Producer of the Year, 39-year-old. Best R&B Song, 64-years-old singer. Best Rap Song, 48-year-old, and a 40-year-old, and another 48-year-old. You understand what I'm saying? And these are all older artists that won that. This is something else. I'm not putting this on the screen, but I'm gonna read it to you. We gotta stop saying this is a young man's game. These young artists aren't being developed and are falling by the wayside. Artist development takes 3 to 5 years in the public eye, another 10 perfecting your craft before you get to the public eye. The reality is, this is a ready or not game. Either you're ready or you're not. We are telling artists they don't need a label, they don't need a manager, they don't need anyone to put their music out. This is true. But if you want to be a real artist, you need to be developed. We don't tell athletes you don't need a coach. We don't tell actors you don't need a director. We don't tell anyone they don't have to go through the process except artists. Then you wonder why seasoned talent who went through the process are winning. Artists, you need help if you want to last. And since we're putting artists underneath the spotlight, how many A&Rs really know how to develop? And this is something that I've really felt need to be said. You know, real props out to Ray Daniels. And this is the thing, like the disconnect. Learning is a good thing. You know, especially in the black community, our forefathers fought for us to be able to read, learn, and type of things. And I understand it's the younger generation. All younger generations have always had a rebellious bone in their body. They have always had that, to be rebellious, and I get that. But there's a such thing as being rebellious and being ignorant. Sometimes it doesn't even matter if you feel a certain way. To give your opinion, that's one thing. But like I said, for him to make the statement he didn't know who he was, and you're just saying who you like, I get it. It's no reason to tear your room apart and go through all those things and say, who the fuck is this and that? If you're not knowledgeable about it, it's okay to say, I just don't have no knowledge about it. And especially, again, like in our community. Now, when we start getting disrespectful in the ways that Cenat was saying he would buy Joe, and then Aiden Ross saying you an old man and you hating and this and that, and we will have more money. You now you're just hurling insults. You're not even hurling facts. You don't know what's in his bank account. He doesn't know what's in your bank account. So that making those statements is really pointless. Let's try to stay on topic here. And I do respect also what Killer Mike had to say. So let's check this out.
Invite the cool streamers. I don't know nothing about streamer. I want to invite Kai out. Thank you for saying my name. I know your guy. I know your guy and weird. But listen, I want to come to the room. I want to bring you a broom because Atlanta still won. You feel? Yeah. However it go, young player. Just know I rock with you two and I'm cheering for all of us. You know what I mean? Because I think that from a cultural standpoint, this is the center of the black world culturally. And however, whoever's winning, we winning.
Yeah.
So, I just want to just tell him that, like.
Yeah, I just blame it on the Gen Z when I watched the video.
I ain't blaming it on nothing. Like, I love y'all. You know what I mean? If you ever get treated bad, I'm right there for you. You know what I mean? So I know how it go though. You know what I'm saying? When I like Luke and the Two Line Crew, my mama was more into Salt and Pepper. You know what I'm saying? I get it, but I listen to both bands. So I'm gonna just say to young people out there, it ain't nothing wrong with expanding. It ain't nothing wrong with trying something else. It ain't nothing wrong, with just giving, having. You don't have to be always in the crowd. You know what I mean? Like I was a kid in the South. I listened to Ball and G. I listened to UGK when he was with Black.
And that's the thing. Like, all I'm saying is we need to find a way to unite and not always turn it into this thing where it's like old head versus new head. Necessarily, that's not always the case. It's just a lack of experience, lack of understanding, lack of learning, lack of wanting to get better. So I would say, this beef doesn't need to really turn into anything. And of course, both of them are podcasters and streamers and things of that nature. So some of these things that do pop up are for views, are for clicks, because it does help their brand. So I just wanted to kind of break this beef down a little bit and, see what y'all thought process was about this. But hey, like I said, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave comments in the comments section, and we'll continue to grow this channel. So hey, this 51 Spade, Alphamalegod, signing out for ENT, and until next time, peace.